Brett's a public servant and perhaps I'm a bit less constrained when it comes to some of these matters. If Minister Hunt is genuinely suggesting that, we're keeping this lockdown on because somehow we think Victorians are enjoying it, or it's a choice that we're making, like, this is just, it's just wrong. And I'll boldly predict that whatever I stand up here tomorrow and announce, there'll be members of that federal government, some who are from Victoria, but I don't think they're for Victoria, who will be out there saying, it's not enough, you should have done more, no matter what I announce tomorrow. And what that says to me is that, we're not going to be pressured. We're not going to be engaging in what I think is a political exercise. And it does no credit to those who are involved in it. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but I'll say it again. Politics, this sort of stuff just doesn't work. It doesn't work against this virus. Other governments, other ministers, people, they're entitled to have their view. But please, no one should be suggesting that the Chief Health Officer and I and others are keeping these restrictions on any longer than they need to be, any longer than the advice says to us this is an appropriate response, so that we can open up. We are not going to risk everything that Victorians have sacrificed. And whilst people are entitled to different views, some people should reflect on the fact that they are in fact a health minister, and that actually requires a certain standard, I would have thought. We're going to see this thing off, and we're going to do it properly. And I probably said more than I frankly intended to, and more than I'm inclined to, about people who are, I think, playing games. And this is not a game. The stakes are too high. Everything that's been done, everything that's been given, needs to count for something. And that's why this strategy is not about racing to open up, running to COVID normal. It is about safe and steady steps. And tomorrow, just tomorrow, we will make significant announcements. And we'll have more to say about what the next weekend looks like and the weekend after that.
But he's not just referring to his opinion. He's saying that epidemiological conditions for a COVID-safe reopening...
With the greatest of respect to him, it is not for him to determine whether epidemiological conditions have been met. He is not an epidemiologist. He's a politician, and I think he's making that very clear to everyone who follows his tweets, and everyone else who listens to his criticisms, and everyone else who gets briefed by him and those who work for him. I'm done with this. It's an insult to the sacrifice that Victorians have made. Politics doesn't work on this, and I'm going to call it out wherever I see it from now on, because there are some people who have played politics every day of this pandemic, and Victorians are sick of it. They're also pretty sick of these rules, and that's why we're going to get some of them off tomorrow, because we've done an amazing job. Every Victorian, no matter their background, their postcode, their circumstances, people have stayed the course. We are right on the edge now of defeating this second wave. It's not occurred in many countries, if any, across the world. And you look to Europe, you look to parts of Asia, you look to North America. It's heartbreaking what's going on over there as they move into winter, particularly in the other hemisphere. That this thing likes the cold. That's what the evidence tells us. So we have avoided that, and we aim to continue to avoid that. And there'll be significant announcements tomorrow.